Hello and welcome back to the Dubois County Humane Society for our Pet of the Week segment here on 18WJTS. Jared Atkins with our best buddy Kara Henke, and I am seeing double, I am seeing triple. We have multiple big-bodied cats in this room, and to me, the person that's not the cat guy, a lot of them look the same. What can you tell us about this variety of copy and paste felines we have in here today?
So technically this is our blue cat free roaming room, but I think today it could be called our tabby free roaming room because we have a lot of beautiful tabby cats in here. So we have Hawk and Tiger. Those are both almost 1 year old kitties. We have Meredith, and then we also have Meow-len. Those are all of our guys that are in here that, like you said, they almost copy and pasted each other to one to the other, and they are just great, up to date on everything and ready for their free roaming rooms. But
I would like to give a shout out.
That's what I was going to say.
To my homie Bulbasaur hanging
One
out
of these
there.
things is not like the other,
Right.
and that is Bulbasaur. She is our beautiful black and white kitty. She was a mama that all of her babies have been adopted, and she is still here looking for her forever home. Bulbasaur is sponsored, so her adoption fee is covered. And she loves to hang out in her hammock. Anytime you're looking for her, she is always in her hammock. I have Hawk down here at my feet right now, just getting some attention. We have Meredith. She's behind the cat tree right this second. She heard her name. She peeked her head out.
She's curling up down here.
And then this right here is Meow-len.
Meow-len. You know, for being only 1 year old, some of these cats are huge.
Some of them are bigger than
Very
the other.
healthy.
We're not going to fat shame their big bones.
That's right.
They're just big boned, huh? No, they are. They come in all shapes, sizes, different attitudes, all the above. Hi, baby.
Now, are any of these other guys sponsored?
Nope. Bulbasaur is the only one in this room that is sponsored right now. The rest of them, their adoption fee is $40.
Okay.
That includes their microchip, up to date on all their vaccines, and if they are in this room, they've already been spayed or neutered. So they are ready to go.
All right, Kara. Well, we're going to shift gears because we have a lot to talk about. And the first thing I want to talk about is the amount of cats you guys have right now. So kitten season, as a reminder, we do every so often, let's walk through this, what needs to be done about that? What can be done?
So first off, we have our low-cost spay and neuter clinic, and we are always happy to try to work with you to get your cat spayed, neutered, so that way we aren't worried about the kitten season as much. And stay tuned to our Facebook. We've had a lot of cancellations lately, and they are wonderful over there about posting when they have availability to get somebody in. So they have been some openings all the way up until, I believe this week for male cats to get fixed. So that is the easiest way to kind of combat all the situation. But I will say it is, like you said, the middle of kitten season, and people are finding kittens left and right. A lot of times, if outdoor or feral cats have kittens, they will leave them for a period of time to go eat, to go hunt, so that way they're okay. The best thing that you can do in that situation is leave those kittens there and just kind of monitor it to see if their mom's going to come back. Because if you move them or if you mess with them, the mother's not going to come back as willingly for them.
Okay. Another thing I want to talk about, this week we are setting under the gun for just an impressive heat dome.
Yes.
Triple digit heat indexes for the next few days. Outdoor pets, dogs and cats. Let's walk through that. What can people do right now over the next several days to help their outdoor pets?
Make sure that they have plenty of water. They have shade. They have safe places to go to kind of escape the heat. I always say if they are an outdoor pet, this is also a kind of time that maybe let them have a break from it, come into the house a little bit so they are escaping that. I know a lot of people think garages and things like that. Sometimes those are actually heater boxes in those situations. So, make sure that wherever they're at, they have well ventilation also. So in the house, if they are outside, making sure they have plenty of access to water, shade, all the things that they might need.
Bring them indoors if you can, but
Absolutely.
if you absolutely cannot, make sure they have shade, make sure they have water, maybe fill their water bowl up multiple times a day instead of just once a day.
Yep. If you have a bigger dog that's outside, we a lot of the shelters do the baby pools with some ice in it, so that way they can kind of get in there and play and cool off. There's different options on that. And also, if you have indoor animals and you're taking them out for walks, to be mindful of how hot the concrete, grass, and asphalt will be during these time frames, because all of that's going to raise those temperatures that
Just
can
burn their
damage the
little
little
paws
paws up also.
So this next thing I want to talk to you about is kind of a two-part thing. I want to talk about donations, but it's really a two-part thing. I don't like to talk about money if nobody does, but you guys are kind of up against the wall here lately with all these intakes you've been doing.
Yes.
Can you talk about that a little bit?
Absolutely. So, with the situation that we helped out with in Pike County, we ended up taking 44 animals,
That's
44
crazy.
dogs. When one of them was a mama, and she just had 9 babies last week, so that brought our total up to 44. And we touch on prevention a lot, but heartworm prevention is something that we really adopters and we try to educate on. So these dogs, we're not on prevention, and they are a lot of the adult dogs are heartworm positive. So with that is not something that they can spread to another animal. It is something that is treatable. It's just very expensive to treat it. So it is multiple rounds of medicine and then an injection. But with that, it costs around $500 per dog to treat. So at this current moment, we are up to 13 dogs that are heartworm positive just from that one case.
Well, and something I want to bring out too is, as some people may remember, we've talked about this before in the past, and I talked about it before in the past with your predecessor. For those that don't know, some humane societies and shelters across this country, some do have funds. You guys, however, are completely self-funded. You get absolutely no money from the state of Indiana.
Nope.
Everything you do is built off the generous donations from people here, or all the amazing fundraisers you guys put together throughout the year. But sometimes a fundraiser isn't enough. Like, sometimes you have to put out these cries to the public, like,
Yeah.
please help us if you want our service to continue.
Yeah.
And that's kind of right now where you guys are at this month.
Yeah, so we have such a great community. We put out the cry. I put out a Facebook post last night, and we've already got some traction on that. So our biggest focus is always the animals. Whatever we do, however we do it, our focus is always on what's best for them. So these animals are going to get the treatment, the love, everything they need. We just need a little help from the community, so that way we can do it, in the timeliest, quickest manner that we can for them.
Especially right now with this recent intake, this high level of intake, and
Yeah.
and if you guys aren't here to take care of what happens to these animals?
Yeah.
Where do they go then? Then you have to get other places involved, and it's just anybody out there watching. If you guys can help, you can message the page, Dubois County Humane Society's Facebook page. You can call here and talk to them. You can visit their website, duboiscountyhumane.org. Somebody's always here to take a call, and if they're not, they'll return it. These guys are great at returning messages. But aside from, the monetary donations, let's actually do our weekly donation talk. What is the most pressing need this week that you guys have?
So we need string cheese.
String cheese.
Some of our animals are very picky on how they take medicines, and they like the spray string cheese for medicine. And then we also could use just some cleaning supplies. The bleach, Fabuloso for the floors, just general cleaning all overall. We
Always bleach.
We always bleach. We use so much of it. We always want to make sure everything's clean and ready for everybody coming and going. So with the community output on everything, I do want to mention we did take in that first week. We took in 30 dogs, 33 to be exact, and all 33 of them that first did not have to stay in the shelter. Almost every single one of them went straight into foster homes.
It's fantastic.
The community stepped up and offered to foster when we absolutely needed it, so we could go back and actually pull more. I pulled so many the first day, and I was like, okay, everybody's in foster home. I can go back the next day and do more. And then I actually went back a third time and pulled a couple more. So it is one of those things that without the community support, we wouldn't be able to do it, but we wouldn't have been able to save as many and get as many out as we did.
And that's something else we talk about every few months. Like right now in the middle of summer, this is the time when you guys are needing fosters and volunteers.
Absolutely.
You guys have so many intakes recently. You can always use a second set of hands around here. Or my favorite, the Dog's Day Out program.
Absolutely.
Come and take a dog out, take it for a walk on the river walk, take it out for a pup cup. Who doesn't like ice cream?
Exactly. And that's what I think one of the biggest things that we're trying to implement with the volunteers is if you want to come in during our open hours, fill out the volunteer form, come hang out with the cats, walk a dog. If we're here from 12 to 6, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, and we would love to have somebody come in and socialize some of our animals. If you want to do something a little more in-depth, yes, that's a little more scheduling. But if you're wanting to hang out with the animals, come in during our open hours. We will set you up with one, and you will get to do so.
All right, Kara, before we get out of here, I saved my favorite thing for last. We are in the middle of the season for the greatest sport ever invented. Sorry, football fans.
No, I agree.
Baseball is first, then football.
I agree.
You guys got a big thing coming up with the Bombers this weekend, right?
Yeah,
Let's
so-
talk about that before we get out of here.
So the Bombers have their Wiener Dog 500 this weekend, and we are so excited that we're going to have some of our adoptable dogs out there that can be adopted on site. And we're just going to have a great time watching them do their thing, because who doesn't love a good baseball game, especially in the middle of summer?
Right, and you guys are going to have a few of our canine friends out there.
Yeah, we have so many great dogs right now. We have so many to pick from. So just about the entire staff can go out.
All right. So did we miss anything?
I don't think
I think
so.
so. Just
I think
guys,
that's it. Come see us, hang out.
and get with Kara and the team here. If you guys have nobody ever likes to ask for money, but without the Dubois County Humane Society here, what happens to some of these animals is the cat is biting my finger. Playful, but all that information, Kara did put a heartfelt post out there. You can visit the Dubois County Humane Facebook page to see that. And if you guys are able to contribute, Kara and the team here would greatly appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely. Even if it's just time to come hang out with them, we're always open to whatever you can do.
All right, well, that's going to wrap up our weekly visit here to the Dubois County Humane Society here on 18WJTS. For Kara Henke, I'm Jared Atkins. And back to the studio, your weather is next here on 18WJTS.